How's it going, guys? My name is Brandon. Don't mind me, this is my first video, so I might be a bit awkward. Anyways, the purpose for this video is I want to help people who want to start calisthenics. They don't know how to start. Now listen, there's no perfect way to start. It's not like school where you have a curriculum and all that silly stuff. You're meant to explore it, play around with it, be creative with it. So initially what I was going to do is I was going to give you my specific framework. However, funnily enough, when browsing ChatGPT to answer a question I had, it actually gave me a realization in which it's unique to each person's style. So I decided to flip it and give you the specific exercises that I used for specific body parts, as opposed to just giving you my specific blueprint. Because if I give you what I do, then what will happen is most of you will attempt that and you won't enjoy. Maybe during the newbie phase you'll enjoy it, but over time it will get boring, it will get monotonous. You won't understand the foundation behind the system, so you won't be able to customize it to your liking. And that's not what the point of this here. It's a journey for you guys to get fitter, healthier, become more confident, so on and so forth. So anyways, I'll just get straight into it. So I just want to say, I know the layout isn't so good on your end. I will add a PDF at the end with everything that's on here so you can see it clearly. I'll also give a close-up at the end of the video so you can screenshot it if you want. So here it goes, I'm just going to jump straight into it. So as you can see, I've got number one for training. So we're going to focus on two things, training and nutrition. And before I get into that, there are some specifics I just want to run over through real quick. Now, there are plenty of YouTube videos out there, alright? You've got sleep, you've got macronutrient ratios, things like 0.8 grams to 1 gram of protein per body weight, so on and so forth. I won't get into that too much. I'll just say for you beginners, again, 0.8 grams to 1 grams of protein per pound of body weight, that's essential. And sleep, 8 to 9 hours of sleep, but if you're a male over 18 and you are on semen retention, then you could cut that down to about 7 to 8 hours. Anyways, let's jump straight into it. So, training. Don't mind my amazing drawing here. That's meant to be a bicep. Yeah. Anyways, number one, shoulders. Now, as you can see, I've got beginner exercises, medium exercises, and advanced exercises. Now, I did make a mistake here. It's meant to be freestyle, it's not two. We fix it now. Anyways, the easiest exercise for beginners are your pike push-ups. Now, we'll do future videos where I demonstrate specific exercises. I don't want to make this too long. Pike push-ups is the foundation of your shoulder training. For my shoulder training, I started with pike push-ups, and built me some pretty good shoulders. When I went to the gym, I did shoulder pressing and overhead pressing. When I practiced the wall handstand push-ups, I was able to do that because the pike push-up is amazing exercise. Don't sleep on that, especially if you want to build your shoulders. Now, of course, you've got your wall handstand push-ups. That's definitely one of the best shoulder exercises out there, without a doubt. Yeah, you've got it when you're facing the stomach to the wall, which builds more of the anterior delt, and of course the lateral delt too. And then you've got your back facing to the wall, which builds the posterior delt as well as the lateral delt. Furthermore, you've got your handstand push-ups. Now, I personally can't do handstand push-ups. I don't do any skill training. I don't really enjoy it. I prefer strength training, but I'm not going to sleep on it. Handstand push-ups is by far the goated shoulder exercise, without a doubt. You've also got any dip variation. Any dip variation will work your shoulders. Although I'd probably say the wide dip is better for your shoulders. You want to lean more forward too as well when you're doing your dips. And obviously lean backwards to work more of the tries. I put the weighted dips as a medium because, as you may have heard out there, weighted dips can be dangerous for beginners. You should probably get a strong foundation before you get into weighted dips. I've heard stories from people having sternum issues and so on and so forth. Me personally, I never had any issue. I was very slow to adopt dips anyway. I was doing mainly push-ups initially until I got into the dips. So yeah, it's very important to build a strong foundation that prevent injuries in the future. But if you do get into it in the future, weighted dips is more of a medium exercise. And then of course you've got your knuckle push-ups, which is a beginner exercise. It's very, very easy. You've got two variations. You can do it with a karate fist, or you can do it with a boxer's fist. The karate fist, it builds more the natural delt, the boxer's fist more of that anterior delt, obviously specific for those sports. So we've got chest, you've got your lower chest / mid chest, you've got your upper chest. Now for the lower chest, you have a lot of exercises, and they're mainly easy ones. So you've got the wide push-up, very, very simple. Again, I'll demonstrate this in the video anyway, but you're with the elbows tucked in, sort of like the bench press, coming down, very simple. You've got your normal push-up, normal staple, probably have your elbows around shoulder width apart, very simple, very basic. Your wide dips, so instead of doing the dips narrow, where the bars are closer together, we're going to make them wider to get more of that stretch, sort of like a pec fly. You get that stretch when you're going deep into it, and you'll feel it with the pec as well. You feel it in the tendon too, so just be careful with that one. That's why I put it at medium, not easy. You've got the archer push-up, very good. I did it earlier in my days. It's very good for building the armor plate on the chest, and it's unilateral as well. So if you want to address the imbalances, archer push-up is a good one. However, it is a medium exercise. You do need to build a strong foundation before you progress into the archer push-up. And last but not least, you have the pseudo planche push-up. It's an amazing, amazing exercise for the lower chest. I personally don't do them yet. I'll probably incorporate them, but I've tried them. They're very good for the lower chest. And then you've got your upper chest, very, very simple. You've got a decline push-up, which is a beginner exercise, and a diamond push-up, which is more of a medium exercise. Thirdly, you've got your triceps, you've got your military push-up. So I'm going to do a demonstration for this specific one too, but to just do it very briefly, what you want to do, you want to pronate the arms, twist the elbow outwards, and then you'll just naturally fall into it. Keep it narrow, like that. But again, I'll demonstrate it more in a video. Narrow dips, which we covered earlier, for your shoulders. Narrow dips are specific for your triceps, and as wide dips for your chest. But again, with your triceps, any push variation works your triceps anyway. So you don't need to fuss too much about building strong triceps. I mean, just change your dip and push-up variations to make it more tricep specific, but everything will train your triceps, so it's not that big of a deal. Thirdly, you've got your back, so you want to build your thickness and you want to build the width. For your thickness, you've got the inverted rows. Best beginner exercise, very, very easy. Build the thickness of the upper back. Then, as you progress and they become too easy, what you want to do, and I'll do a demonstration with this one too, specifically, have your feet elevated on the chair, and obviously pull up in a row. It makes a significant difference on the effect the rolls have on your back, and plus it works off the middle back as well, because you're more parallel to the ground as opposed to being at an angle. The difference between the inverted roll and the raised inverted roll would be similar to the difference between an incline push-up and a flat push-up. Hopefully that analogy makes sense. And then of course you've got the narrow pull-up. So the narrow pull-up, about shoulder width, pull. And as you can see my upper back. Actually, I'll do a demonstration. Pull, and as you can see from the back, my mid-back, as you can see the muscles are contracted. And then of course you want to build the width. So for your lats, you've got the wide chin up, which is what Arnold did, as some of you may know. Very good for building the lower lats. Then you've got the wide pull-up, which is good for your upper lats. And then of course the goated exercise, which is the muscle up. But again, you've got to be careful with this. It's more of an advanced exercise. And if you don't build strong elbow tendons, then you will get injured with the dip on the muscle up, because it does strain, does really strain the joint. So just be patient when progressing to the muscle up. I say you want a minimum of 15 clean range of motion pull-ups. So I'm saying fully from the stretch, where you can feel your lats poking out, going all the way down, chest to the bar, going back down. Next of all, you've got your biceps. It's very, very simple. You've got your chin-ups, which is basically the goal-8 biceps exercise. You don't need anything else, but any pull variation will work your biceps. You know, when you do pull-ups, when you do rows, you will feel the pump in your biceps. And then you've got your abs. I will be honest with you, I don't train abs. Now, I am a net dog, so you know, I'm naturally lean anyway, so I don't feel need to train the abs because my body is leaner. You carry less weight when I'm training calisthenics, so it's less important to me anyway to train the abs. But for you, you do want to train the abs. You've got your crunches, which build the upper abs. You've got V6, which is much better than crunches in my opinion for beginners because it builds the entire ab. But you've got the V-ups, which is a medium exercise, but that's the go-in one. It's what Bruce Lee used to do, and I'll do a demonstration for this one too. It's where you're laying your back on the floor, you pull your arms up and your feet up, you touch your toes, and then you repeat that. And then of course you have your hanging knee raises and your hanging leg raises. Now your hanging knee raises, you're hanging off the pull-up bar, and you pull both knees up to your goal. Then for your hanging leg raises, obviously, you're putting your leg outward with it fully stretched. The leg raise is more advanced, but of course, is much better for your abs. But again, just be patient when progressing anyway. However, just to know that any upper body exercise for calisthenics will, to some extent, have some effect on your core anyway, because you do need to stabilize it in order to perform the exercise, as opposed to when doing weight training, which is more specifically isolated for your muscles. So yeah, you could probably get good at abs naturally anyway, but if you want to train abs, I've got the information for you anyway. Legs, my personal favourite, although I will say I have been lacking on the legs lately. They have gotten a bit small. I need to get them big again. Jeez. But anyways, two beginner exercises. You've got your front squat, which is more quad focus, and you've got your back squat. Right, front squat, and your back squat, front squat, back squat, which is better for the posterior chain. And then you've got your lunges, which is a very good unilateral exercise. It's a good way to address muscle imbalances because you will find with the squat that one muscle may be more dominant than the other. Maybe one leg is more quad dominant, the other is hamstring dominant. Maybe you've got more fat distribution on one leg than the other, which is what I have. So it is good for addressing those muscle imbalances. Now, I will say that there are more advanced exercises, not just for your legs, but for your pull and your push. And I'm talking about unilateral exercises. So if you're watching this, you've probably seen my shorts. I do a lot of one-arm push-ups. I'm going to start showing you guys my unilateral leg exercises. I can't do unilateral exercises for pull yet, but I can do assisted chins. I'm still working on it, but yeah, I can't do it free hanging. So, but no, we're all improving. So it is what it is. But yeah, that's the legs. And then last but not least, for people who do want to train their calves, you've got your calf raises. Very, very simple. You know, you're going up to your toes. It's not that complicated. However, I have put high rep calf raises at a medium because trust me, when you do high rep calf raises, you will feel it in the Achilles. I can guarantee you that. So that's my training video. I hope you enjoyed it. Now, I was going to do nutrition in this video as well. However, it has gone a bit long, so I'll probably save that for another video. Thank you very much for watching. Feel free to leave recommendations and your thoughts in the comments, and hope you have a great day.